Dallas went into this draft. They needed a lot. Okay, like in terms of replacing some of the pieces. Okay, it's not been a great offseason. There has been some talent drain there for Dallas, and so I think for me, you hear Jerry Jones came in and was talking about going outside the box, and I kind of felt very inside the box, especially the first couple picks.
Yeah.
Look, Tyler Smith, the offensive tackle out of Tulsa. I get it, athlete. I understand the it's raw, but you see the traits, a very traits-driven pick. It's sort of boom or bust. Like, hey, if he develops into what he's capable of potentially being, we could be a couple years down the line and go, man, in the redraft, he's like a top 5 pick. Like,
Sure.
Totally could be that. Depends on whether he's a tackle, depends on whether he's a guard. But that's a little bit of a dice roll where they were. And I guess personally, I felt like they could have been more aggressive about trying to move up for maybe one of those guards that went earlier than we thought. But then I think Sam Williams, the Ole Miss defensive end, which I knew a little bit about because we had done the All Juice team, and I had a few people bring him up.
Yep.
But what was interesting to me is all of his juice is in the pass rush. It's a lot of people were just like, just kind of one-dimensional. He's like a one-way sort of player. Like, he's a pass rusher. He's not going to be in the NFL level a great run defender. He's probably going to be a run liability. We'll see if that's the case. But to me, I'm like, okay, now we have another player where maybe you're getting something out of him from a pass rush standpoint, but is he someone that you're going to have to take off the field situationally, maybe repeatedly? Yep. I don't know. I expected more out of Dallas. I really did. I thought there was a chance they would be a little more aggressive than they were. You expect, like, okay, they're going to get beat out by the Eagles in terms of aggression. Fine. But Detroit? Yep. Like, right. Did you see Detroit go, hey, here's this receiver we want. We're going to make this huge move and get this done. I think for Dallas, I would have felt a lot better about the class if I was like, they're absolutely walking out of this draft with the guy, one big impact player that they really focused in on and went up and got. I'll tell you what, though, I will also say this. Been a lot of flack in past Dallas classes, and there were people who didn't like the Parsons pick, right? And he turned out to be great. So was a little bit of a head scratcher, though, for me.
I killed their 2021 class for character reasons, right? They got the Marshall kid who got, kicked out of Florida State was, amid sexual misconduct allegations. And Parsons was a different cat, right? I mean, there were people who weren't, too sure about him and remain so. Like, they think, the better he plays, the more chance something wrong got happening. The LSU corner who's in trouble now, you've talked about it, Joseph, Right. So I killed their class for character. Tyler Smith, I think, considered a relatively high character kid. Jalen Tolbert too, but Sam Williams comes with some character issues too.
Right.
He's had kind of a scattered past as well. And if you watch him as a pass rusher, it's all gas, no brakes. Like, he just sort of flies into the backfield. So yeah, I'm with you. I thought it was a little bit of a reach there, and I like Sam Williams to a degree, but forced a bunch of fumbles in college. But he's a volatile stock, I would say.
Yeah. Well, the all gas, no brakes guys never fare well in the run, versus the run.
Right.
Because at some point,
by the ball.
Yeah. Team, let's run at the all gas, no brakes guy. and chances are he's going to, play himself out of position, and we're going to gash him. So we'll see. Maybe that's just part of his game that, can be developed on the NFL level. For me, when I sat there and I was like, okay, your first 2 picks automatically are kind of like, okay, there's a lot of development here. If they don't work, you really have dug a little bit of a hole for yourself.